Ladies, let's be honest, when a man walks away or takes you for granted, it stings. You gave your time, your energy, your love, you invested in him, and now it feels like he just threw it all away. But let me tell you something, the best revenge, the best way to make him regret losing you is not through anger, not through bitterness, and definitely not by chasing after him. The most powerful thing you can do is step into your worth, elevate your life, and make it clear that losing you was the biggest mistake he ever made. First and foremost, focus on yourself. Too often, when a relationship ends, we dwell on what went wrong, replaying conversations, overanalyzing texts, wondering if we could have done something different. Stop. Shift that energy back to you. Reconnect with who you were before the relationship, or better yet, become an even greater version of yourself. Pour into your self-care, your passions, your growth. Hit the gym, take that class you've been putting off, start the business you've been dreaming about. Not to prove anything to him, but because you deserve to be the best version of you. When you elevate yourself, you naturally become magnetic. When a relationship ends, it's easy to become consumed with thoughts of what went wrong, what he's doing now, and whether he regrets losing you. But none of that energy serves you. The most important thing you can do is shift your focus back to yourself. Instead of obsessing over him, redirect all that time and attention into becoming the best version of you. This means prioritizing your emotional, physical, and mental well-being in ways that will elevate your confidence and self-worth. Too often, women lose themselves in relationships, sacrificing their own needs to accommodate their partner. Now is the time to reclaim your identity, rediscover what makes you happy, and pour into yourself in ways you may have neglected before. Start by evaluating the areas of your life that need attention. Whether it's your career, health, friendships, or passions, use this moment as an opportunity for transformation. Focus on self-care, not as a temporary fix, but as a lifestyle. This can mean taking up new hobbies, improving your fitness routine, meditating, reading, or even traveling to new places. The goal is to create a life that excites and fulfills you. When you feel good from the inside out, your energy shifts, and that shift is powerful. It makes you more attractive, not just to him, but to everyone around you. People are drawn to those who radiate confidence, self-love, and purpose. Emotional healing is another crucial part of focusing on yourself. Suppressing emotions or distracting yourself with temporary pleasures won't lead to real growth. Take the time to process your feelings in a healthy way, journal your thoughts, talk to a therapist, or engage in practices like mindfulness and meditation. When you heal properly, you build resilience, and that resilience ensures that you won't repeat old patterns in the future. Healing isn't about proving anything to anyone, it's about creating inner peace for yourself. Cutting off unnecessary distractions is also important. This includes limiting social media stalking, avoiding conversations about him, and refusing to engage in gossip or speculation. Every time you check his profile, ask mutual friends about him or wonder if he's missing you. You are giving him space in your mind that he no longer deserves. That energy is better spent on your own self-improvement. Instead of looking for signs of regret from him, start creating undeniable proof that you are thriving without him. Surround yourself with positivity and uplifting influences. Spend time with friends and family who support you and remind you of your worth. Engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. The more you immerse yourself in positive energy, the less you will be affected by the past. People who truly focus on themselves aren't just pretending to move on, they actually do. They embrace new opportunities, set new goals, and step into their power with confidence. When you fully invest in your own growth, you naturally become the person you were always meant to be. Confidence is one of the most attractive qualities a person can have, and nothing makes someone regret losing you more than seeing you thrive with unwavering self-assurance. True confidence is not about arrogance or proving a point to anyone. It's about knowing your worth, owning your power, and walking through life with a sense of self that isn't dependent on validation from others. When you elevate your confidence, you naturally shift the energy you put out into the world, and that shift is undeniable. It changes how people perceive you, how they interact with you, and most importantly, how you see yourself. The first step to elevating your confidence is changing the way you talk to yourself. Self-doubt, negative self-talk, and constantly questioning your worth will only keep you stuck in a cycle of insecurity. Instead, start affirming your strengths, your value, and your uniqueness every single day. Speak to yourself with the same kindness and encouragement that you would give a friend. When you begin to truly believe in yourself, it reflects in everything you do, your posture, your speech, your decisions, and even your presence in a room. Taking care of yourself physically also plays a big role in boosting confidence. When you feel good about how you look, it naturally enhances how you carry yourself. This doesn't mean you need to fit into a certain beauty standard or make drastic changes. It's about taking care of your body in a way that makes you feel strong, healthy, and attractive to yourself first. Whether that means exercising regularly, upgrading your wardrobe, improving your skincare routine, or simply maintaining good posture, small changes can have a major impact on how you present yourself to the world. Confidence is also built through action. The more you step outside of your comfort zone and prove to yourself that you are capable, the stronger your self-belief becomes. This means saying yes to new opportunities, setting goals that challenge you, and refusing to shrink yourself for the comfort of others. When you push past your fears and take control of your own life, you develop a sense of empowerment that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. Confidence isn't just about how you look, it's about how you show up in the world, how you handle setbacks, and how you move forward even when things don't go as planned. Surrounding yourself with the right people is another key element in elevating your confidence. If you spend time with those who constantly criticize, belittle, or drain your energy, it will be difficult to maintain a strong sense of self. Instead, seek out people who uplift you, encourage your growth, and remind you of your greatness. The right environment can either fuel your confidence or diminish it, so be intentional about the company you keep. Confidence is magnetic. When people see you carrying yourself with self-assurance, they are naturally drawn to your energy. More importantly, those who underestimated you or took you for granted will start to realize exactly what they lost. Silence is one of the most powerful tools you can use when someone has taken you for granted. It speaks volumes without you having to say a word. When a man expects you to reach out, check in, or chase after him, and instead he is met with nothing but silence, it forces him to sit with the reality of his decision. People often don't realize the value of someone until that person is no longer accessible. When you remove your energy, your attention, and your presence, you create a void that cannot be ignored. Silence is not about playing games or trying to manipulate anyone. It's about reclaiming your power and refusing to engage in anything that does not serve you. Silence allows you to shift the focus from him back to yourself. When you constantly reach out, check his social media, or try to get his attention, you are giving your energy and reinforcing the idea that he still has control over your emotions. But when you go silent, you regain that control. You are no longer reacting to him or seeking his validation. Instead, you are choosing to detach and redirect your energy toward your own growth. This shift is not just for his benefit, it's for yours. It allows you to break free from emotional dependence and build true inner strength. People are naturally drawn to what they cannot have. When someone is used to having access to you and suddenly that access is gone, curiosity takes over. He starts to wonder what you're doing, who you're with, and why you're no longer reaching out. That curiosity can quickly turn into regret. He begins to question whether he made the right decision and whether he truly knew your worth. The less you give him to work with, the more space you create for his mind to wander. Silence forces him to reflect on the relationship in a way that words never could. Silence also communicates self-respect. It shows that you will not beg for attention, chase after someone who does not value you, or lower your standards just to keep someone in your life. A woman who knows her worth does not need to convince anyone to stay. She does not need to over-explain, justify, or prove her value. She simply walks away when she is not appreciated. This level of confidence and self-respect is what truly makes someone realize what they lost. Using silence effectively requires emotional discipline. It means resisting the urge to respond to breadcrumbs, those small, insignificant messages that are meant to keep you hooked. It means not falling into the trap of checking up on him or trying to analyze his every move. It requires you to trust the process and believe that if someone truly values you, they will make an effort to come back the right way. And if they don't, then they were never meant to be in your life in the first place. Raising your standards is one of the most powerful ways to make someone regret losing you. Often, people stay in relationships that don't serve them because they are afraid to demand more. They compromise on their needs, settle for less than they deserve, or accept behaviors that aren't aligned with their values because they fear being alone or feel that this is all they can get. But what happens when you refuse to accept anything less than what you truly deserve? You begin to raise your standards, and in doing so, you not only show others how to treat you, but you also teach yourself to demand the best. The first step in raising your standards is understanding your worth. When you know who you are, what you stand for, and what you bring to the table, you won't tolerate anything less than respect, love, and honesty in a relationship. This doesn't mean expecting perfection from others, but it does mean setting clear boundaries and being unwilling to compromise on the core values that make you who you are. If you've been in a relationship where you've allowed yourself to settle, it's time to stop and recognize that you are worthy of more. You deserve a partner who sees your worth, appreciates you, and matches the energy you bring. Raising your standards also means recognizing when something is not aligned with your needs. It means paying attention to the red flags and not ignoring the things that make you uncomfortable or unhappy. If a partner is not giving you the love, respect, and attention you need, it's time to let go and make space for someone who will. Don't waste time trying to convince someone of your value or forcing them to meet your standards. If they can't see it, they don't deserve to be in your life. Another crucial aspect of raising your standards is letting go of fear. Fear of being alone, fear of not finding someone else, or fear of rejection often holds people back from setting higher expectations. But the reality is, when you raise your standards, you are attracting the right person into your life, someone who matches your energy and treats you the way you deserve to be treated. This shift isn't about playing hard to get, it's about valuing yourself enough to know that you deserve more than half-hearted effort or empty promises. When you raise your standards, it will require some discomfort. It may be hard to let go of someone who doesn't meet your expectations, especially if you've invested time and emotions into the relationship. But remember, you are creating space for something better. As you raise your standards, you'll notice that your confidence increases. You won't settle for less, and you won't allow anyone to diminish your value. This sense of empowerment is magnetic. When you begin to live by your own standards and refuse to accept anything less, people will take notice, especially those who didn't appreciate you when they had the chance. Ultimately, raising your standards isn't about making someone regret losing you. It's about respecting yourself enough to never settle for anything that doesn't align with who you are and what you want from life. When you do this, you make it clear to the world, and most importantly, to yourself, that you are worthy of the highest level of love, respect, and happiness. Maintaining emotional control is one of the most powerful ways to ensure that someone regrets losing you. When a relationship ends, it's natural to feel a range of emotions: anger, sadness, confusion, or even a deep sense of betrayal. However, the key to handling these emotions is to not let them dictate your actions or cloud your judgment. Emotional control is not about suppressing your feelings or pretending to be unaffected. It's about acknowledging your emotions while choosing not to let them control your behavior. When you are emotionally stable and composed, you exude strength and maturity, which is incredibly attractive and powerful. One of the first steps in maintaining emotional control is understanding that your emotions are yours to manage. Too often, people fall into the trap of letting someone else's actions dictate how they feel. If your ex-partner moves on quickly, ignores you, or does something that hurts you, it's easy to feel anger or sadness. However, when you allow those feelings to take over and dictate your reactions, you lose control over your own emotional state. Instead, practice recognizing that you cannot control others, but you can control how you respond. Choosing not to react immediately or impulsively is one of the most effective ways to maintain emotional control. Taking time to process your emotions in a healthy way is also essential. When emotions are intense, it can be tempting to react by sending impulsive texts, calling your ex, or posting things on social media to get attention. However, these reactions often end up making you feel worse and prolonging the healing process. Instead, give yourself permission to feel whatever emotions come up, but do so in a constructive way. Take some time for yourself to reflect, journal, meditate, or talk to a trusted friend or therapist. When you release your emotions in a healthy manner, you create space for healing and emotional growth. Important part of emotional control is shifting your focus from the past to the future. It's easy to get stuck in the what-if cycle, replaying conversations, trying to figure out where things went wrong, or wondering if things could have turned out differently. However, when you spend too much time ruminating on the past, you prevent yourself from moving forward. By shifting your focus to the future and taking proactive steps to improve your life, whether that's focusing on your career, building stronger relationships with friends, or developing new hobbies, you regain control over your life and begin to heal. Focusing on what lies ahead empowers you to create a brighter future rather than staying stuck in the past. Maintaining emotional control also means setting boundaries with your ex. It may be tempting to engage in back and forth conversations or try to keep the lines of communication open, but doing so often only hinders your healing. It's important to create distance, not out of spite, but out of self-respect. Boundaries allow you to protect your emotional energy and focus on healing rather than getting caught in a cycle of emotional ups and downs. The more you are able to respect your own boundaries, the more emotionally stable you will become, and the less likely it is that your ex will be able to manipulate your feelings or drag you back into the past. When you maintain emotional control, you become more resilient. You stop letting external circumstances dictate how you feel and start taking ownership of your own emotional well-being. This shift makes you incredibly attractive because it shows that you are strong, independent, and able to move forward with grace. By staying emotionally composed and focusing on your own growth, you demonstrate the qualities of someone who is self-assured and in control of their life, which makes it impossible for anyone to ignore your strength. Creating a life filled with passion and purpose is one of the most attractive things you can do to make someone regret losing you. When you are deeply engaged in the things that light you up, you naturally become more vibrant, magnetic, and confident. A person who is passionate about their work, hobbies, or personal growth exudes an energy that cannot be ignored. When you're living your life with purpose, you no longer rely on someone else to give you meaning or fulfillment. Instead, you become the source of your own happiness and strength, and that level of independence and self-sufficiency is incredibly powerful. To start creating this kind of life, you need to first get clear on what matters most to you. It's easy to get caught up in the expectations of others or to follow the path that society has laid out for you. But the key to living a passionate life is doing what resonates with your soul. Ask yourself what excites you, what makes you feel alive, and what you want to contribute to the world. These are the things that will fuel your energy and help you create a sense of purpose. When you know what drives you, you can start focusing your time and energy on those activities that align with your true desires, instead of wasting time on things that drain you or leave you feeling unfulfilled. Once you've identified what fuels your passion, the next step is to take consistent action toward it. Passion is not something that just happens, it's something that requires commitment and effort. If you want to turn your passions into a meaningful part of your life, you have to show up every day and put in the work. Whether it's pursuing a career that excites you, developing a new skill, or dedicating time to personal growth, taking consistent action towards your passions will not only build your confidence, but will also create momentum in your life. The more you work toward what you love, the more you'll feel a sense of fulfillment, and the less you'll rely on others to fill the emotional gaps in your life. Living with passion also means living with authenticity. It means showing up as your true self without hiding behind masks or pretending to be someone you're not. People are drawn to those who are authentic and unapologetic about who they are. When you stop seeking validation from others and start embracing your uniqueness, you become magnetic. People can sense when you are being authentic, and they are naturally drawn to your energy. This level of self-acceptance and confidence not only makes you more attractive, but also makes it clear that you are not afraid to live life on your own terms. Another crucial aspect of creating a life filled with passion is learning to embrace challenges. Passionate people are not afraid of obstacles or setbacks. Instead, they see them as opportunities to learn and grow. When you approach challenges with a growth mindset, you not only build resilience, but also develop a deeper sense of purpose. This attitude towards challenges makes you stronger and more determined, and people take notice of your ability to overcome adversity with grace and strength. It shows that you are not easily shaken and that you are capable of creating the life you desire, no matter the obstacles in your path. When you start living a life filled with passion, purpose, and authenticity, people can't help but notice the shift in your energy. They will begin to see you in a different light, someone who is strong, independent, and fully engaged in the process of living a fulfilling life. This transformation doesn't just make you more attractive, it also makes you someone that others will regret losing. They will realize that what they had with you was not only special, but irreplaceable, and that the person you become is someone they can never take for granted again. When you take control of your own happiness, you not only become more attractive, but you also send a powerful message to anyone who might have taken you for granted. Many people fall into the trap of relying on others for their happiness, constantly seeking validation, approval, or affection from their partner, friends, or family. However, the key to creating lasting fulfillment and ensuring someone regrets losing you is to shift the focus inward and make happiness a personal responsibility. When you can generate your own happiness, it empowers you to stop seeking external sources for validation. It demonstrates that you are strong, independent, and capable of standing on your own 2 feet without needing anyone to complete you. Taking control of your happiness starts with understanding that it's not someone else's job to make you feel good. If you're constantly depending on someone else to make you happy, you're giving away your power. Instead, recognize that happiness is a state of mind and a choice that comes from within. It's a daily practice of cultivating gratitude, self-love, and joy, no matter what's happening around you. The more you focus on your own well-being and take care of your emotional health, the more attractive you become. Happiness is magnetic. It draws people in because it radiates positivity and confidence. A big part of taking control of your happiness is learning to let go of expectations. Often we place unrealistic expectations on others to fulfill our emotional needs, and when they inevitably fall short, we end up feeling disappointed, resentful, or hurt. But when you stop expecting others to make you happy and focus on fulfilling your own needs, you release the pressure on them and remove the potential for disappointment. Letting go of expectations allows you to appreciate people for who they are rather than for what you hope they will be. It also gives you the freedom to experience joy without conditions, knowing that your happiness is not dependent on the actions or behaviors of anyone else. Key component of taking control of your happiness is learning to embrace your own company. Many people fear being alone, thinking that solitude means loneliness or inadequacy. However, the most confident and emotionally secure individuals are the ones who enjoy their own company. They know how to fulfill within themselves and are comfortable spending time alone without feeling the need for constant distractions or external validation. When you embrace your own company and learn to enjoy solitude, you become more self-sufficient and resilient. This self-assurance is incredibly attractive and creates an aura of independence that others can't help but admire. Taking control of your happiness means focusing on your personal growth and development. When you are committed to improving yourself, whether through learning new skills, working on your emotional intelligence, or pursuing your passions, you create a life that is fulfilling on your own terms. Personal growth not only makes you a better person, but also helps you develop the confidence to navigate life's challenges with grace. As you evolve and grow, you start to attract others who resonate with your energy and who appreciate you for the person you're becoming. When you take control of your own happiness, you stop settling for relationships that drain you or hold you back. You recognize that you deserve to be with someone who appreciates you, supports your growth, and shares your values. You no longer tolerate toxic dynamics, and instead you create space for healthier, more fulfilling connections. When someone sees that you are emotionally independent and capable of finding joy on your own, they will realize just how much they took you for granted. They will understand that the happiness they see in you now is something they could have shared if they had valued you properly. But by that time, you've already moved on, creating a life full of joy and fulfillment, no longer waiting for anyone to give you what you've learned to give yourself. When you begin to focus on personal growth and self-improvement, you create an undeniable energy around yourself that others can't help but notice. People who are constantly working to better themselves, whether through education, developing new skills, or improving their mindset, radiate a unique energy. This energy is both inspiring and magnetic because it shows that they are committed to becoming the best version of themselves. This sense of ambition and self-awareness doesn't go unnoticed. When you prioritize your own growth, it signals to others that you are someone who is always evolving, which is not only attractive, but also shows that you are capable of thriving without relying on anyone else to help you succeed. Self-improvement involves taking a deep, honest look at yourself and recognizing areas where you can become stronger. This could be in your emotional resilience, your ability to communicate effectively, or even in how you handle stress. The process of growth isn't always easy. It requires self-reflection, vulnerability, and a willingness to confront your weaknesses. However, this discomfort is what leads to real transformation. When you work through your personal challenges and grow from them, you become a person who can navigate life's difficulties with grace and confidence. This emotional maturity and inner strength are incredibly attractive traits. It shows that you are capable of handling whatever life throws your way, making you someone who is both dependable and inspiring. By focusing on your personal growth, you demonstrate to others that you value yourself and your own development. This self-respect is reflected in the way you carry yourself, your boundaries, and your interactions with others. People who are actively growing are not content with mediocrity. They strive for excellence in everything they do. Whether it's in their career, relationships, or personal passions, they refuse to settle for anything less than their best. This mindset of continuous improvement is contagious. It inspires others to look at their own lives and ask themselves if they are truly fulfilling their potential. By being a living example of growth and self-improvement, you inspire those around you to do the same. Personal growth also includes a deep commitment to self-care. When you focus on taking care of your physical, emotional, and mental well-being, you show yourself the respect and love that you deserve. Taking time to nurture yourself, whether through exercise, meditation, spending time with loved ones, or pursuing hobbies, helps you become more grounded and balanced. A person who takes care of themselves exudes a calm confidence that is hard to ignore. They are clear about what they want and don't settle for less because they know their worth. This kind of self-assurance is magnetic and makes others want to be around you. Not because of what you give them, but because of the positive energy and sense of peace you radiate. Investing in your personal growth means you start to attract people who are also committed to growth. When you surround yourself with like-minded individuals who value self-improvement, your own journey becomes even more fulfilling. You exchange ideas, share wisdom, and motivate each other to keep moving forward. This creates a supportive environment where everyone can thrive. These types of connections not only help you grow, but also ensure that you build relationships that are based on mutual respect, shared values, and a commitment to becoming better. When you consistently focus on personal growth, you not only improve your own life, but also set the standard for those around you. You become a beacon of inspiration, and that energy draws people towards you. They see the progress you've made and recognize that you are someone who is not stagnant, but always pushing forward, becoming more than they were the day before. This journey of self-improvement shows others that you are not the same person they once knew. You are evolving, thriving, and becoming the best version of yourself. This transformation will not go unnoticed, and the people who let you go will quickly realize that the person they took for granted is someone they will never replace. When you become a person who lives with purpose and intention, you shift the dynamics of how others perceive you. Purpose is a driving force that gives life meaning. And when you have a clear sense of purpose, it becomes evident in the way you approach everything you do. It affects your mindset, your behavior, the energy you bring into every situation. People who live with purpose are naturally more attractive because they exhibit a kind of clarity and direction that is rare. They know where they are going, and they are not swayed by external circumstances. This level of conviction and focus makes them stand out and draws others in. Living with purpose also means that you are always working towards something greater than yourself. It's about having a vision for your life that extends beyond the day-to-day. When you know what you want and why you want it, you begin to make choices that align with that vision. These choices are deliberate and calculated, which in turn builds your confidence. When you act with intention, people take notice of your discipline and your ability to stay focused on your goals. They respect your dedication and are often inspired by your pursuit of something meaningful. A life of purpose is also one that inspires others. When you are fully engaged in your work or passions, you become a source of inspiration for the people around you. Purpose-driven individuals don't need to seek attention because their actions speak louder than words. They inspire others simply by showing what is possible when you live with intention. Whether it's pursuing a career, engaging in a hobby, or contributing to a cause, the passion that comes with living a purposeful life ignites a fire in others. They start to question their own level of commitment and wonder if they are doing enough to fulfill their own potential. Purpose gives you the kind of focus and energy that naturally attracts people who are also looking for something more in their own lives. When you are aligned with your purpose, you also create a sense of fulfillment that others cannot replicate. Happiness, fulfillment, and joy aren't dependent on external factors, they come from within. People who live with purpose have an inner peace and satisfaction that radiates from them. This sense of contentment is magnetic and creates a ripple effect in their relationships. Others are drawn to this energy because it feels steady and grounded. It provides a sense of security because when you are living your purpose, you are not looking for validation from others. You are secure in who you are and what you stand for, and that kind of security is incredibly attractive. Living with purpose also creates a sense of resilience. When you know what you're working toward and why setbacks and challenges become part of the process. Instead of being discouraged by obstacles, you learn from them and move forward. This resilience builds your inner strength and makes you less likely to be shaken by life's ups and downs. People admire those who can weather storms with grace, and when you live with purpose, you show others that it's possible to remain steadfast even in difficult times. Your ability to stay focused and remain committed to your purpose gives you an incredible level of strength that others can't help but respect. The people who once took you for granted will quickly realize that you are not someone they can easily replace. Your sense of purpose and passion for life makes you a unique force. They will look back and recognize that the person they let go of was someone who was already becoming more, someone who had a vision for their life and was willing to do whatever it took to achieve it. By living with purpose, you not only transform your own life, but also set a standard for how others should treat you. Those who once doubted you will regret losing the opportunity to be a part of your journey. When you start to set boundaries and prioritize your own well-being, you shift the power dynamics in your relationships. Establishing clear and healthy boundaries is a form of self-respect that signals to others that you value your time, energy, and emotional health. People who have strong boundaries are not afraid to say no when something doesn't align with their values or goals. They don't feel obligated to meet every demand or expectation placed on them, and they don't settle for relationships or situations that drain them. This kind of self-assurance is incredibly attractive because it shows that you are confident in who you are and what you stand for. You don't need others to validate your worth. You validate yourself through the choices you make and the boundaries you set. Setting boundaries is not about being rigid or inflexible. It's about knowing what you need in order to thrive. It's about recognizing when a relationship, situation, or commitment is no longer serving you and having the courage to step away from it. When you have clear boundaries, you are able to protect your energy and focus on what truly matters to you. People who respect their own boundaries are better able to give to others in a way that is healthy and sustainable. They are not overextending themselves or sacrificing their own needs for the sake of others. Instead, they show up as their best selves because they know how to take care of their own well-being first. When you start to prioritize yourself in this way, others take notice. People who may have once taken you for granted will begin to see the changes. They will notice that you are no longer willing to tolerate behaviors or situations that don't align with your values. This shift can be unsettling for some, especially if they were used to taking advantage of your kindness or willingness to accommodate others. But by setting boundaries, you send a clear message that you are no longer available to be treated in ways that undermine your self-worth. You are teaching others how to treat you, and those who truly care about you will respect your decisions and boundaries. Setting boundaries also involves being clear about your expectations in relationships. It's about knowing what you need in order to feel loved, valued, and supported. When you are upfront about your needs and desires, you create a foundation for healthier and more fulfilling connections. Relationships thrive when both parties are clear about what they want and what they are willing to give. This kind of clarity fosters mutual respect and understanding, and it helps prevent misunderstandings or resentment from building up over time. As you start to enforce your boundaries, you will find that you become more aligned with your true self. You will attract people who respect you for who you are and who support your goals and ambitions. You will no longer waste time or energy on relationships or situations that drain you. Instead, you will be surrounded by people who uplift and inspire you, helping you become the best version of yourself. By setting boundaries, you reclaim your personal power and demonstrate to others that you are worthy of love, respect, and consideration. When others see how you value yourself, they will regret the moment they took you for granted, realizing that the person they lost was someone who had the strength to walk away and stand firm in their own worth.